The first kiss was never meant to happen. It was a quiet, rainy night, and I could still taste the sweet red wine lingering on my lips when his mouth suddenly pressed against mine. The air around us was thick with the scent of fresh rain mixed with something far more dangerous, forbidden desire. In that single moment, I knew deep in my soul that I had crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. No amount of regret or tears would ever erase what I had just done. My husband, Michael, was hundreds of miles away on an important business trip. He had kissed me goodbye at the airport with complete trust in his eyes, whispering how much he loved me and how he couldn't wait to come back home to me. He believed in me completely. Yet here I was, betraying that trust in the worst possible way. My body trembled violently between overwhelming desire and crushing guilt. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears as I gave myself to a man who was not my husband. The passion felt electric, but the shame was already beginning to settle in like a heavy shadow. Let me take you back to the very beginning of how everything fell apart. My name is Amanda. I'm a 34-year-old woman living in a quiet suburban neighborhood just outside Atlanta, Georgia. For the past 9 years, I've been married to Michael, a successful corporate consultant. His job requires him to travel constantly, flying from one state to another, closing big deals, attending conferences, and building a career that has given us a beautiful home and a comfortable life. Michael is tall, with dark hair and a calm, patient personality that first made me fall deeply in love with him. He is steady and reliable, exactly the kind of man most women dream of building a family with. But over time, that same steadiness started to feel like emotional distance. His business trips grew longer and more frequent. Weeks would pass with only short phone calls late at night. Slowly, I began to feel like a beautiful houseplant left alone in the corner without enough sunlight, loved, but deeply lonely. That loneliness became unbearable the week Michael left for a week-long trip to Dallas. The house felt too big and too empty. That's when Ryan entered my life more fully. Ryan was 31 years old, the younger brother of my next-door neighbor. He had recently moved back to town after going through a painful divorce. He was the complete opposite of Michael, rugged, carefree, and full of wild energy. He worked in construction, so his hands were strong and rough from hard labor. His piercing green eyes had a way of looking at me that made me feel truly seen, as if he could strip away all my carefully built walls of restraint. At first, everything was completely innocent. A friendly wave across the street. A quick chat while checking the mailbox. Small, harmless conversations that made me smile again. Then came the night that changed everything. Michael was upstairs packing his suitcase for Dallas when Ryan stopped by to help fix a faulty porch light that had been bothering me for weeks. I remember every detail of that evening so clearly. The warm summer air still carried the fresh smell of newly cut grass. The humidity made everything feel heavy and intimate. Ryan climbed the small ladder, his shirt sticking to his muscular chest because of the sweat. I tried so hard not to notice how attractive he looked, but I couldn't help it. My eyes kept drifting toward him. We talked and laughed while he worked. For the first time in months, I felt alive and desired. When he finished fixing the light, instead of leaving, he stayed for a glass of wine on the porch. One glass turned into two. The conversation grew deeper. He shared stories about his divorce, and I opened up about how lonely I had been feeling with Michael always away. The rain started falling softly. We moved inside to escape it. The wine, the closeness, the loneliness, everything blurred together. Before I could stop myself, I leaned in, and he met me halfway. That first kiss was slow, intense, and full of the kind of passion I hadn't felt in years. What followed that night was a whirlwind of emotions I had never experienced before. For a few brief moments, I felt wanted and exciting again. But as soon as the passion faded, the guilt hit me like a wave. I lay awake that night staring at the ceiling, Michael's face flashing in my mind, wondering how I could ever look him in the eyes again. This was only the beginning of a secret that would eventually destroy my marriage. The affair continued in stolen moments while Michael was away. Every touch brought pleasure mixed with terrible regret. I knew it was wrong, but the loneliness had grown so strong that I kept making the same mistake. In the end, secrets like this never stay hidden forever. The truth came out in the most painful way possible, leaving behind broken hearts, tears, and a marriage that could not be saved.